Once again, good afternoon and welcome to our promotion tutorials once again. Today we would like to share with you another important area for our promotion exams. And if this is your first time of coming across my tutorials, don't forget to press on the subscribe button and subscribe. A time will come I will only allow those who have subscribed to be enjoying my free tutorials. So make sure that you subscribe. Subscription is free and liking the video too is free. It doesn't cost you anything or you don't pay anything. So subscribe and be part of the community for us to share knowledge together. So today we are looking at educational policies and programs. Educational policies and programs. So before we look at it, we look at what a policy is. What is a policy? And also look at formulation of policies or developing public policies. Then we'll come to educational policies. So what is a policy? A policy is a plan or a guiding principle that directs or guide decisions to achieve a desirable or a rational outcome. Let me take it again. So we are saying a policy is a plan or a guiding principle that directs or that helps decisions to be taken to achieve a desirable outcome or a rational resource. So when we are talking on policy, on official, it is an official position that is taken by the government to solve or to achieve a particular problem that the community or the nation faces. So these principles or guidelines help the formulation of any policy that helps to solve a problem. Now let's look at policy formulation. There are about 4 steps that helps a policy to come to its realization and its implementation and evaluation. So one of the steps for policy formulation or major stages for policy formulation is 1. Identify the problem or problem identification is 1. So any policy that comes into play or that comes into its implementation, the problem needs to be identified for policy to be formulated. So one stage of policy formulation is identifying a problem that will help you solve that problem. So in this, it is being driven by the demands of the people on the government to solve a particular problem in the community. So first, it is being driven by the people on the government to form a policy. So first, the problem is identified, and this problem being identified is being driven by the demands of the people. Then 2, the policy process or formulating the policy to address the problem that you have identified, and the demands are being converted into a technically feasible implementable strategies by the technocrats to help the problem to be solved. So when the problem is identified, then steps are being taken or strategies are being employed by the technocrats or those who have the technical know-how to develop policies for the problem to be solved. Then the third one is the implementation. After the policy has been designed, now left with the policy to be implemented, the policy to take its effect. That's the third one, implementation. And implementing the policies make some changes, and it's very important. Most of the policies goes through parliamentary approval to be backed by an act, so that when the policy is being implemented, it is backed by a law or an act for its implementation. Goes through legislative processes for political support or canvas to help that policy come into existence. Then the fourth stage is evaluation. When a policy is being implemented, it is also being taken through processes to evaluate the policies and see whether the policy is being well implemented or is having an actual result of solving a particular problem that you have identified or the government or the people have identified. So evaluating the results of implementing the process, the entire policy is being evaluated to judge its effectiveness on the targeted group or the problem that you have identified to solve. Now let's look at educational policy. So when we are talking about educational policy is a plan that guides the government on its decisions and actions to improve education in the country. So educational policies are decisions that the government takes to help solve educational problems. In educational policies, it is a public policy. It is a public policy, and it guides the decisions and the actions of the government on the education. So it's very important that you look at this. And it also refers to a collection of laws and rules that govern the operation of education in Ghana. And we need to look at these key notes before we go and write the promotion exams. Then when people speak on educational policies, or at least public educational policies, they are referring to government decisions, rules regarding the education, schools, colleges, and its related matters. So it's very, very important. Then policy are made on both inside and outside of the educational institutions that provide a guidance in the conduct of the educational activities to help these policies work effectively. Then the last aspect of educational policies that we want to share with you is that it includes government rules, government laws regarding schools attendance, school graduation, college entering, what is to be studied and what is to be taught, who will be paid and who will pay, are all issues concerning education. So don't forget to go through these things before you go and write your promotion exams. Come back again if you enjoy these tutorials. I would like to see you in the next video that will look at the policies that are being established in Ghana to mind the affairs of education. I really